What's your name again? Spencer?
Yeah.
Spencer. Yeah, man. It's. So you're a comedian and everything, right?
I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah. All right, kid. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Today, you are in for a treat. A special guest coming at you hot and heavy in the sex zone. What if that was the name of the podcast?
The sex zone, and I just didn't know that. I mean, it kind of is. 7 minutes inside of that.
Yeah. We're actually going to fuck on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest, Spencer Cavins. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you, man. We've been having a hell of a day together.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good way to say it. It's something.
It wasn't the whole day. It was the evening.
That's fair.
The evening.
That's fair.
Outside of this room, there's just 2 deflated blow-up dolls. Truly. I'm not saying that to be funny. There are 2, and your fiance right now is nursing 2 deflated blow-up dolls. One of them's clothed. The other one is stark naked, as Evan insisted she be.
Yeah. How much harder do you think it was in the past to even accomplish what we did? Because neither of us had to go buy a blow-up doll. We were just able to order on Amazon. We didn't have to face that shame.
Right. That's a really good point. We didn't have to go into like a store.
I mean, you did wave it like outside, like a flag in front of my neighbors, and I'm sure I'm out of the HOA, but it was worth it. The joke is worth it.
It's funny that you bring this up because it's what's worse. Because before you did have to go in, you had to have that human interaction where you say, I'm buying a blow up doll or I'm buying a fake ass.
That one's crazy.
Right. But like you had to have that moment, but then after that, it's like you have your anonymity again. This way, they're not going to card you. You're not going into like a registry.
You're paying cash for that.
You're paying cash. That's it. Now, I've ordered that on my Amazon. So that's in my portfolio of work that
now they're going to start suggesting it. Like, you bought this.
Yeah. What else?
What's crazy is for people who don't know, there's like a fake ass that has these like wiggly legs. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but it's like
I haven't seen. Yeah, well, I've seen it's just the ass. Like
and I guess people masturbate with it. They practice.
I don't know.
Is that what these kids are doing with it?
Dude, you're lubing up your cock and you're just fucking this thing.
And the point I'm making here is that getting a blow up doll, 30% of the blow up dolls bought are gags. 100% of those asses, you're in there, you're grizzled. You have like probably a little bloodshot. Right. You have something on your mind. That's a whole different level of intention when you're going in that store. Like they know.
Yeah.
Just like porno shops. Like people used to have to go through the beaded like rooms.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're like, I need help masturbating. And that's why I've come to you.
Yeah. Yes. I also think that because there's like those products that are like behind the counter, right? So you go into a sex shop and you get, maybe you're just there to get some condoms and some lube. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of that being like an impulse purchase. It's just like, I'll get the condoms, the lube, and I'll take that big fake black ass up there. Like it's
an afterthought.
Yeah, like it's a pack of gum at a grocery
store. Is that on sale? Yeah. Oh, Backdoor Slut 7? Oh, they have a 7th one? Yeah. I'm keeping up with the series.
Yeah, I'll take these 2 DVDs, this pack of batteries, and what's that big ass? That's $99.99.
Oh my God. There is such a different world that goes on. Like, do you think there are actually people who legit from start to finish just watch porn? They just watch it. It's a tool.
I do think that exists. Yeah, I mean for sure, right? If you can say it and the word porn's in it, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like people must do that, but it's specifically because they're like once I touch myself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
7 minutes inside of Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Once I touch myself, it's done. Right.
Like the movie, like the
animals.
You're
in a
no
frenzy.
longer.
So I want to watch
viewer.
it. I want to watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy. I want to prolong this experience.
I don't like how your voice gets so soft and supple.
I imagine that's how they talk. Yeah. Nobody's gonna be like, shit, man. I just want to enjoy the motherfucker. Before I touch my dick, I just want to enjoy this motherfucker.
Damn, this shit pretty good. Oh, man.
Hey, yo, give me a bagel sandwich, pack that Newport. Yo, what's that big ass up there?
I was imitating my friend Scott, who is from Switzerland. He grew up. That's the accent I was referring to.
Oh, I was doing my friend Deshanthony.
Wow, that took a turn. That's just crazy. That's one of the things I think about is the fact that if you can think about it, it's had to have happened before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like to always do the contrast of how much different it was. I feel like that's a natural comic thing, is you're always searching for two different things that match up or used to be the same and now they're completely different. Like I always think about dads can't really go out for milk anymore. They can't just disappear. Like even back, like we even like the glory days for some guys were like the 60s, because you just be like, I'm going out for a pack of smokes. You would go like across the valley. Like you go to like, you're in fucking Reseda and you're like, I'm just starting a whole new family.
Yeah.
You know, in the peasant days, they could just like walk through a forest in a different village. And it's like, no, that's not my fucking shit.
Right.
But now with technology, your kids are finding you.
Yeah. Okay, so just to be clear, when you said dads can't go out for milk anymore, you meant in the like hyperbolic way of like go out
abandoning
for milk.
their family.
Okay, because what you said was dads can't go out for milk anymore. Dads can't just disappear. And I was like, I love that your version of like disappearing is going to the store by yourself.
Where does he go every time?
It's like it'll be 15 minutes. Yes, it's much harder because you're gone for a while, but then all of a sudden they see that you bought a blow up doll on their Amazon.
Yeah, they're like, dude,
Dad lives in the San Juans, you know. But yeah, that's so true. I remember noticing that with like I realized that it's so much harder to be a cheater now if you're a cheater, because I was dating a girl and we would Snapchat each other at night, and then she knew if I was like out drinking, you know, we're younger, so there's always like jealousy and shit involved in younger relationships. But she was like Snapchat me that you're in bed, and that would become a thing.
She would actually.
Yeah, it became this unspoken thing where it's like, it's not like obviously I didn't always Snapchat her, but it was always a thing where it's like, why couldn't you have sent me a Snapchat before you went to bed? And I'm like, because I was out cheating.
Oh, man.
Cheating. No, I wasn't even actually cheating, but I was just, you know, you're drunk, you get home, you forget. But that would be a fight. Like that would be a conversation, not necessarily a fight, but a conversation the next day that it's like, you know how important it is. I know that you're out getting like hammered with your friends. Why couldn't you have just sent me a Snapchat just so that I see that you got home okay?
That's the way they like cover it. I just want to make sure you're safe.
It's like, yeah, okay.
Wow.
That would be funny if you were like, all right, and you just send a picture of you in another woman's bed. You're like, safe. Safe as all get out.
You're like, what? You were worried about my safety? That was the problem, right?
In bed on a seventh floor apartment. So safe.
Do you think back in the medieval times, there were jealous girls who'd be like, send me a fucking raven, just so I know.
Send me a raven, Evan. You're out with that whore again. Yeah, probably.
And they like smell the raven. They're like, whose raven is this?
Yeah, but I think they also like, I think they knew they didn't have a leg to stand on.
Back in those days?
Yeah.
Life was just different. I
mean, it sucked. You were just, I feel like in those days you were always just like shoveling shit for some reason. Yeah. But not with the right tool. It was just with like a wooden,
whatever you got,
trident.
Yeah.
You're just shoveling poop.
That was a multi-purpose tool. Like they would use everything.
Yeah. You would use it to work, and then you would also use it to like rabble at the town hall meeting. Man. When they found out there's a werewolf.
Dude, crazy. Isn't that crazy? Also, during that time, they really thought monsters were real. Like there was real fears. Like burning women at the stake is like some of the craziest shit. We used to believe it. Right.
Some would say we're still doing it to this day.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Roe versus Wade. I was going to say buzzwords, but not able to like connect the dots. You know, we're burning people at the stake. Cancel culture.
Amen, brother.
Abortion.
They're really burning those people on the stake anyway.
That's true. And all you had to do was, I was just thinking about this, like, because it doesn't exist now, at least legally, because we have due process, which is why obviously like cancel culture can be such an issue because there's no due process. But like that whole like the witch trial. So I was thinking about this, you know how like ISIS will just like launch gays off of a high tower. That's a place where you can get killed for being called gay. Imagine if that happened here, if you could just be thrown off a tower for being called gay. Bro, I would have been thrown off a tower at 8 when I got Xbox Live. Yeah. Like immediately just dumped off of a tower.
That's so crazy.
Because you don't have to prove it. I just have to be like, Evan is
an accusation.
Gay. And here, if I said Evan's gay, people would be like, yes. Yeah. But there, it's just
I'd
like,
get more stage
you're coming with us. And you'd have to be like, I swear to God, I'm not.
And there's like, no way to prove that.
Exactly.
They're like, suck this dick and let's see if you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like, you closed your eyes. Anyway.
Like, what, is closing your eyes in that you didn't like it, or like you close your eyes because you're just like,
yeah, that's a tough one.
I'll savor this.
That's up to interpretation.
Yeah. I feel like if I close my eyes, I'm more into something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but it also is like you turn away from it. So it's like really, it's whatever judge you get, you know?
It's got to be tough if in that scenario, like the moment that it first just kind of touches your lips, that first like, oh, we're doing this, huh?
Yeah, that's commitment right there.
Yeah, then you got it.
There's no coming back from that. You know?
Well, yeah, probably not. I don't know. Or do you just shrug it off? Here's a good question.
I'm shrugging it off.
What would be worse to you? And would you rather have to blow a guy, but he's not going to finish? But you got to blow him right up until the point where he's about to. And then you can stop. He goes, I'm going to come. And you go, cool, I'm done. We're not doing that. Or would you rather someone else, let's say it's me, rather me get it there for you, I do all the work, and then the guy goes, oh, I'm about to come, and I go, okay, cool, Evan, here. And you pop it into your mouth and let him finish. Man. Which one's worse? Because one of them, you have to do it a lot longer.
Oh, fuck. Here's the thing, is you just have to detach from reality a little bit. Is on Fear Factor, the guys were just drinking horse semen.
Absolutely.
Like it was really such a casual thing. Granted, that's like how the most current season got canceled, allegedly, was the too much semen.
Yeah. Did you see the gay guy who did that? Who did that? Who like bodied that challenge? Dude, so they had all the contestants coming. They had all the.
Can you pull that up?
They had.
I don't have that person.
They had a bunch of like big pictures of horse semen, and they're sitting there and they're waiting. It's a long shoot, and this guy goes and he just goes and he chugs them all down, and he's like, oh. Okay, anyways, so what's the contest today?
Oh my God.
I'm fucking.
Oh my God. What if I was just lying and be like, yeah, I saw that was fucking crazy. That'd be the most awkward podcast.
The guy's just like, anyway, thanks Craft Services for lunch.
Yeah,
what's the competition today?
No, that's crazy. I don't know which one I would do.
I've thought about this a lot because the first one you have to do it for longer, right? Is that your problem with it?
I don't know. I guess I just never really thought about it.
I know. Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm saying think about it.
Yeah, I think you want to do the second one. You just want to.
Why? Okay, yeah, go with that. Why though?
Because then you're not. Let's really dive into this. If you're really trying to get someone to completion, a lot of it is the act, and you're like, they have to be enjoying this, unless they're a weirdo who's like getting off on the fact that I'm not enjoying it, because that's a whole different side of its thing. Yeah. So I'm a very objective person. I like to break down my competition and really get in there. So I have to see what I'm working with. So maybe I go out for a lunch with this guy and I see what he's into. I'm doing a little survey, a little questionnaire. Okay. I want to find what his horoscope is. I want to see how his relationship with his mother is.
So you're somehow making this gayer than it even needs to be.
But because I'm all about efficiency. So when I get in there, I want to know what I'm dealing with, you know? Because if he's like, oh my God, dude, you enjoy this? That's so gay. And he's not in it. But then if it's like the humiliation of like, look at this guy having to do it. Like, you know, I just got to know what beast I'm
But if it's the second one, you don't have to worry about any of that because it's just like he's already about to pop.
Right. It eliminates all of that act of who knows how long that could take.
Right. So you go with the second one.
I feel like this is a trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. It's one of two. I'm just You've given some good reasoning for why it would be the second. I just want to clarify that it would be the second one. You would let the guy just come in your mouth.
At this point, without a lawyer present, I'm leaning towards the second one.
Okay.
What about you?
I wouldn't do either. That's gay.
I knew there was a werewolf in the room. Set me up. I was like, something is
Are you kidding me, dude? You want?
Oh wait, this wasn't a life or death.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with doing it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
no,
you just
I'm
gave
all
this. Yeah,
I was just being a good person.
I wouldn't do either. That's crazy.
I just
For me, that's crazy.
That's hilarious. I can't believe you do that to me on my own show. Wow, that's great. Anyway, where do we go from here?
Dude, these Zevias are so good that you have these creamy root beer Zevias.
I mean, there's Zevias, but there goes the goddamn sponsor. They weren't going to sponsor this one too. For ladies and gentlemen who don't know, bigger men demographic. Why am I joking on this podcast? Spencer Cavins is a comedian here in Austin with me. Did you start comedy in Austin or did you move from somewhere else?
I'm going to correct you there. It's Cavins.
Oh, Cavins?
So now, all right. So I called it Zevia or Zevia.
Zevia. Cavins.
Anyway. All right. Yeah, it's Spencer Cavins. I'm from Seattle, but I started comedy in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seattle has a pretty rich history in comedy.
Yes, but I never. I wanted to do comedy. I went to comedy shows in Seattle, but I never got the courage to do it.
Really?
So anytime I tell people I'm from Seattle, they're like, "Oh, great. Do you know?" No. That thing that we all do when we hear that somebody's from a place and we just start saying names at them.
Random, yeah.
So I never got to know the scene, like from a comics level.
Did you, at the time you were there, you wanted to do comedy, but you couldn't?
Yeah, I wanted to do comedy for like years. It'll always be this thing that I have to go back and forth about in my head, where it's like acceptance and then kind of teetering on regret that I waited longer. Only because I would be further along. Just objectively, like career wise, I'd be further along. In that I might actually have a career. Let's clarify. But yeah, just I was dealing with a bunch of other shit through my 20s. So like I just never got to a place where I felt the confidence to go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember, where was your first time? It was out here?
Yeah, it was at a place called Love Goat.
Tight.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I went so it was 2 days before my 28th birthday.
Okay.
And I went skydiving. And I'm not like, I don't think skydiving's fun. I was terrified of it. That's why I wanted to do it though. I said, yeah, you get it. You got the David Goggins book. So
hell yeah.
I was, I went skydiving, and then because I was so terrified of what that would be like, and I was like, I want to do this. And then went in, it was great. I don't know if you've ever gone skydiving, but it's, have you? Are you afraid of heights?
No. I think I would have a lot of nerves skydiving.
Yes, though. I mean it's fucking nuts because first off, you're waiting. Where I went was everybody had to go one at a time because it's like a tiny plane. And so we're out in a field, and it was me, this girl Misa, my gay friend Horst. I can introduce you guys, and his boyfriend. But don't worry,
if he ever has a question for
and. So when they take you up, this is what's really interesting. You have so much nerves. I mean, I was nervous like right after I booked the thing.
Yeah.
And then you get in this tiny plane after you've been given like only a little bit of instruction. Like they don't take you through that much. And you go up and you're in this rickety plane. And the whole time you're going like, oh fuck, this is going to happen. And it's real, like it's noisy. Because again, it's just like this tiny plane, and the instructor is just like checking an altitude watch, and you're just like, fuck, this is going to happen. At some point, the plane starts leveling out, and the guy, gets up and is like, all right, like, you know what to do. Like, let's strap up. So he straps up with you in front of him. This whole time, I mean, you're so nervous, but there's no turning back.
Yeah.
The thing is, so the plane goes straight up. If you bail and you say that you're not going to go skydiving, you chicken out, they can't just go straight back down because the parachutes will. There's an altitude reader on them that will send the parachutes. They'll make the parachutes open so that in case if somebody blacked out and they were falling, it would just open. So they have to take a big, really slow descent in like a corkscrew motion, like you're in a
Yeah.
parking garage.
Wow.
And so it's like a bummer. It sets the whole operation back. Everybody's waiting on you. There's another party who showed up who's like waiting for their group's turn to go. So you can't do that. So anyways, but I was determined to go anyway. The door slides open. Terrifying. It's so loud. And then it's on you. You're in front. So they go like, once I open the door, like you're going to step out onto this ledge. Now you're outside of the plane. And then it's you fall forward. Okay. It's on you to do that. So I just went into autopilot. Are your palms getting sweaty just thinking about this? Yeah, mine are a little bit too. So I step out and then I go forward. And then this is what I learned from doing that. The rest of it was great. Beautiful day. It's a nice fall. Human beings aren't, we evolved to be afraid of heights because it's a smart learned trait. Mm-hmm. We're not afraid of falling because anything that falls dies. So you're not passing on that fear gene. So once you're falling, you're like, oh, this is really nice. The scary part's over. I'm not at a height anymore. I'm not on a ledge.
Wow.
The ledge is the scary part. And then, so there's probably some metaphor for life there. But anyway, the falling part was awesome.
And that you went skydiving and then you're like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy.
So then I landed and we went and got sushi and drank some sake. And I was like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy tonight. I'm not going to wait another day. Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to wait anymore. So it was very kind of allegorical, but I was like, yeah, I'm not. The scary part was, of course, the anticipation, as we all know. It was the buildup. And I was like, I'm not letting another year go by. Because I'd been saying for years. Like, and I would announce it to like my family members, people closest to me. I'm like, I'm gonna do, you don't even know what to call it. I was like, I'm gonna do a comedy set this year, and then I finally did that night, and I got some laughs. Like I wasn't even one of those like disasters up top. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
What about you?
In what way? What question?
Did you start in California?
In California. I had been doing, it was one of those things like when I finally did comedy, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the thing that finally clicked. Yeah. Because I started out, ever since I was a little kid, I did like, I did theater. I like that. And then.
That tracks.
And then, it's so much funnier because of the questions. That's when I really faced that question for the first time. I was backstage. And I got into music and I liked acting, but acting never fit well. And then music always felt weird, but I was like, I'm naturally creative. Like I can make like beats. I know how to do instrumentals. Yeah. I can like do stuff. And then I got into video production. I really enjoyed, like photography and everything like that. And then it just kept evolving where I was like, this isn't giving me what I want all the way. And then it turned into me doing all these things that needed other people to where I was like, and I had this like, I'm growing out of it, this idea to be a perfectionist. Because I realized like being a perfectionist is almost a form of self-sabotage and like your ego getting in the way and
to keep you from doing stuff.
Yeah. And it's almost a cop-out. And it's like now when I hear people go too far in perfectionism, I'm like, okay, you're getting in your own way. But I realized, and at least at that time, I justify with my mind and with stand-up is where I'm like, it's always a work in progress. It's never going to be like, this is it, put it out. There's specials and everything.
Yes.
But it's like, you can just do it. The process of bits and everything is always going to grow and evolve.
Yeah. I exercise that on, and I'm sure you've had to learn to do this all the time with like producing stuff. Because you produce some very funny stuff. But like when we were filming our sketch just now with the blow-up dolls, there's like that thing in you that's like, let's just keep doing takes on this. Yeah. And then we can always circle back and like do the rest of it. Yeah. To just get the perfect thing versus like, let's just complete it. Yeah. Let's just complete it. This take's good. Let's just complete it.
And with the way content is now, that's a perfect mindset to have.
Right.
That it doesn't, do you ever see A Week to Air by South Park?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I just watched it.
It's one of the
it's so good.
Best that they're
great ad for McDonald's too.
Yeah,
it makes me want McDonald's so bad. That's all they eat. Yeah, they were just like drinking a Dr. Pepper.
It's so romanticized, like that being in the writer's room. Yeah. My entire metaphor from watching that entire thing, what I got from it was when Trey was just like, "We do this every week. We're never going to put everything out if it has to be 100% perfect. We just shoot for 92%. That's completely good enough." Yeah. And he's like, and no one else is going to notice that 8%. And that's going to be what's hardest to achieve is at 8%, that there's diminishing return on effort versus what you're getting back.
Yeah.
So it like all of just like that and everything changed the way I viewed like creativity and putting things out.
Yes.
And I was like doing vlogs and everything, and like just like everything was always pointing back to just try to be funny and entertaining. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go do an open mic. Yeah. I wrote 5 minutes that I must have rehearsed for an entire month.
Oh, really?
I was just like, let me get this fucking shit ready, because I would like be Googling people's first time doing comedy stories.
Same.
And,
Yeah.
And they would be like, it was always, I forgot my material. I got up there, the lights and everything, and I just blanked. So I was like, I'm going to know my material. So even if I start blacking out, I can hopefully just rely on the material.
Right.
And it like calms your nerves when you know what you're about to do. Like, you know, dude, doing a joke for the first time is nerve-wracking. Like, it's just like, I don't know if this shit's gonna be funny, and then you don't know all the cadence, you don't know the tags and everything.
Yes.
But it, like, when it's a well-grooved joke, you just almost kind of float in it and like enjoy the moment. Yeah. You're like, I know you guys are gonna laugh at this, you know.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. You know that there's a payoff, so you can deal with. Like, part of it is you get better at stand-up, you get better at dealing with silence because you know that there's like a payoff at the end. But when I'm acting like I'm fucking a wizard at this, like what do I know? But like when you first start, like when you're brand new at it, there's probably not any payoff. So it's like you're just like trudging through the mud, and it's like, oh, there's not dry land at the end.
You're
of this.
hoping
like,
for laughs.
It's just you're hoping.
Get me through this.
You're hoping for a laugh. And you're hoping that it's actually kind of close to the end so you can get off on that.
I'll forever be indebted to the first producer of this open mic because he put false confidence in me. I heard him say it to the next week to someone doing their first time also. Yeah. Where he came up to me after, he goes, it was your first time? That was really good. Come back. And then I heard him say it to the person sitting next to me the next week. The same thing. And I was like,
yeah.
But Eric Crispin, New Blood Ventura, that was the name of the place. Yeah. He would carry like comics through sets. If it wasn't going well or something, he would have this like erupting laugh that would just help you. You know, did you ever play Sonic?
Nice dude.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I know.
It's kind of bad that he's doing that.
It was good for if it was funny. There's a difference. If there was jokes in there, he would laugh at them. If it deserved a joke, even if it deserves a laugh, if he's heard it before. If it wasn't funny, he wouldn't laugh.
Okay.
But you know, when in some of these mics were only 5 comics, and it was just like no one was going to laugh at anything. Oh yeah. They were all on their phone. Yeah. So if something was funny, he would affirm that it was funny, and it would just get you through that without completely hating yourself. Did you ever play Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah. When he would be underwater and there'd be the panic and you had to find like the oxygen bubble. Yeah. That's what it would feel like.
He was the oxygen bubble.
Yeah. Like just giving you a little bit just to keep going through it. Yeah, I'm sure it hindered a few comedians that were just like, oh, this shit's fucking killing, you know. But my first time did feel like an out-of-body experience. Like I remember being up there, but I don't remember actually really being up there. I almost remember it like snapshots.
Yeah, I don't remember being up there, but I was also drunk.
Okay.
Yeah. You were sober?
As a bird.
Yeah. You don't drink much, do you?
Very little. I don't really rage anymore. I'm Puerto Rican. I have Puerto Rican blood going through me.
I understand what being Puerto Rican means. It'd be weird if you didn't. You're like, I'm Puerto Rican, but I got rid of all the blood.
But what I mean is it burns hot. And it's I could get into ancestry, but like it just, if I get drunk, I would always want it to like just rage. Either I would want to go too far where I was like, let's just keep this fucking party going. Or
that's me,
it would be like violent would come out. And it was just like, So I was just like, it's never good. The payoff's never good. Yeah. And that's when I was younger. I don't really drink anymore. Same. But I got to the point where I like could handle it, but I just don't really enjoy it that much. I don't enjoy that it makes me antsy. I wish that I could be like, you know what I was always impressed by is people that would drink for a couple hours and like just like slam beers and then be like, all right, like I got to get home. I'm going to order a pizza. I'm going to whatever. Yeah. For me, it was always, I'm like, how are you going to go home? Like I'm antsy. I got to stay out. Let's go get a pack of cigarettes. Let's smoke. I don't even smoke, but let's smoke. Yeah.
let's get crack. I don't even smoke, but let's smoke.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Try it now.
Yeah.
At least now I can have like a couple drinks and I'm just chill and I'm fine with that. But it's also like I can't even like I have hangovers from like 2 or 3 drinks. Like I don't know what it is, but
those apricot pits aren't.
Dude, my apricot seeds aren't fixing that.
Dude, I open his pantry in between the sketch that we're filming with these 2 blow up dolls. And
it's technically 1 blow up doll that we're filming with.
Well, we have 2.
We have a stunt.
That's even worse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We
just have one for fun.
We have a double just in case Evan punctures the first one. But I open the pantry and I go, oh, I'm going to have some of these almonds. And you go, oh, okay. Oh, actually, don't eat those. Those are apricot pits. You can only have 4 or they become toxic.
Dude, it's a
But you have like a big jar of.
I know. It's very, it's a problem.
What would happen if I had like 50?
You'd get, there's a certain kind of poisoning from it.
I bet nothing.
I mean, if you want to find out,
I'm look
fine.
like I could eat 50 of them.
I bet you could physically.
Yeah.
I just don't know what would happen to your body. It might be
spiritually. You don't think I could do it?
You might not recover spiritually. You might wake up a different person.
That'd be so funny if that's what you meant. You're like, oh yeah, like the toxins, like manifest your aura.
No, it's your chakra that we're really worried about.
I don't have those chakras.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I removed them.
I don't know if Austin lets you do that. I feel like they give you one when you walk in.
That's what they check at the airport. It's never. I'm always pulling out my boarding pass. Like, no. Scanner.
They just like this. They put a crystal around you. That's legit. I mean, I have a bit about it, but like, I've had so many people out here bring up auras to me and not be joking. And chakras, and I'm just like, I'm a spiritual person, and I just mean that I just don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
I'm open to possibilities, but there are some people who are so sure about their chakra and their aura, and I'm like, this is crazy. You've been living here, you've got this far in life where you're an adult, and you're still believing in magic.
Yeah, and it's also like, I mean, it's a trendy replacement for religion. Right? It's just a trendier replacement. It's the same people who like hated their parents because their parents made them go to church. I saw the funniest thing. This is like, you're asking about Seattle. This is Seattle in a nutshell. This woman was wearing a mask, fine. Is a
not in my America.
Female with a mullet haircut. So it's like, okay, I get you. Your
tight.
Pronouns definitely aren't the ones that I would assume. I know that for sure. So I guess actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming correctly. So anyways, got a mullet mask, is on an Apple laptop at a Starbucks with her Starbucks cup and the green straw, and her laptop is covered in stickers, the biggest one that says "Smash Capitalism." And it's like, you are in a Starbucks.
Yeah.
On a MacBook right now, you dumb bitch. But that's how I feel about a lot. And there's nothing wrong with if you believe in what, maybe some of that sorcery is true. But what I find very funny is a lot of the people that I know who are really into that stuff also like can't fathom why their parents believe in Jesus. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, Jesus, there's a stronger case for Jesus than ours.
Yeah.
Certainly, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not backing up ours either,
What do you believe? Are you a spiritual person?
No, I just think there's just no way we can know. Our brains are so puny.
Yeah.
You got puny little brains.
What is this character?
Oh, you got puny brains. No, our brains are too small. We're just buying fake asses at stores.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Would you want to be in that time of not buying fake asses, but that reminded me of going to like a porn shop. Mm-hmm. Would you want to be, do you enjoy living in this time now? Or would you prefer to be coming up as a comedian in like the 70s or the 80s?
Now. Well, 100% now. The scary thing about now is also the best thing about now, which is that you can, so like if you were coming up in the 80s, there's like 20 comics. There could be 20 comedians and you would just work. I mean, granted, the bar for entry was lower, but you were waiting to get tapped because you needed TV.
Right.
You were not going to make it without that. Yeah. And then even after that, you needed like distribution through like Walmart. Once DVDs and stuff like that came out, you needed distribution. So you're waiting for someone to tap you and give you a spot. Now, once you got that, you had it made. Yeah. But now, like, you don't have to wait on any of that. Like you can reach more people on your phone than you were ever able to on TV. If your thing's good enough.
Yeah.
You know, and we're being proven that. So that's also the scariest thing though, right? Because like 20 years could flash by and you didn't make it, and it's like, that was on you.
Yeah.
You missed something, you know?
Yeah. I always think this is the best time to be creative.
Yeah.
It's the worst time if you're not a creative person, where you're just a cog that can be replaced. Like all these jobs that are going away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like...
Do you mean in the creative space, like production stuff?
I wonder, because I think in a lot of fields, even outside of it, that if your job, like there's so many, and I even made to take this turn with it, but like warehouse, like working and stuff that eventually just gets completely automated. Mm-hmm. And even in the creative space, there's a lot of automation. I was seeing this thing yesterday about a software that's going to be able to write scripts. You're going to be able to give it a premise, and it's going to be legit writing scripts. Like doing all the creative work, where then it's just like, it's almost things like that, like technology has advanced that we never fathomed would be replaced.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be replaced. I feel like creativity and writing and like the funny part would never be replaced, but it might be. And then I don't know what fucking happens then.
I imagine if a script though is being written by an algorithm, then it's following like a formula, which already we're starting to reject.
True.
A lot of TV and film, music, whatever, that's following that formula.
Yeah.
So have you seen that? I forget what it's called. My friend Gene always sends me these, but it's this thing where you can type in anything and it'll create it uses the algorithm to create like very good images. So for example, she sent me one that was like 9/11 lo-fi beats to relax to, and it creates that image. Have you seen this?
No.
I'm gonna show you this.
9/11 lo-fi.
Fill the dead air. Fill the dead air.
That's just crazy.
This is amazing. You can edit this over the top. This is absolutely insane. But it just, I mean, it's like the algorithm is good. The algorithm is what you might call fire.
Wow, of what it creates and what it's able to do. And it's just an AI drawing this or painting it?
It's putting together the image. I'm going to try to get this is the example I just gave you. So like, and she does these all day. How good is that?
That is fire.
How good is that?
I'm going to have to put that image up on.
Yeah. You'll have to put that image up on. So it's like, if something can do that, then it does make sense that potentially...
How quick did that give her that result?
Oh, it's very fast. Look at this. She typed in Pixar Hitler movie.
When you say very fast, that's insane.
I think, I don't know.
Seconds, minutes?
That's a great question.
Because if that's
it's got to be minutes, right? Seconds, let's all kill ourselves.
That's pretty mind-blowing that's being created. Yeah. I always even just think that having a phone makes you a wizard in any other time. Yeah. And most people are just using it to jack off.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy.
Right.
That's what I always think about with like where society is going. I don't know if we make it, man. I don't know if we destroy ourselves by just like how we use this stuff and how easily we're like emotional through the phone. Like connection, like there were so many weird protests these past couple of years and violence that happened because of just what someone threw out. Yeah. What happened, Spencer?
Well, you're asking the right guy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought this. I think that it's always hard to imagine because you view like humans as we are now, we're molded by our time. So then you imagine like something far in the future, how could we handle it? And the simple fact is like we couldn't. Humans like adapt over time. Like if you took somebody from 1,000 years ago and just dropped them here now, forget like language and education, but just like in terms of like all the stimuli flying at them and like the anxiety of like living in like a big city, they wouldn't be able to handle it. So I think the same goes for like taking me and dropping me or you in a world. And now it doesn't even have to be 1,000 years. It might just be 100 years. And it's like, oh, I couldn't live. I mean, this is unlivable to me. So I think like humans adapt, right? The things that like this is normal to us to have this phone in our hand. And in 100 years, it'll be totally normal to be like 30% synthesized human being. But it's all stuff that makes you better. But it's like your brain is linked to something. I'm understanding like emotions and thoughts that you're having. It might be like way more like weird and egalitarian. I don't know. Maybe it's illegal to have certain thoughts. I don't know. You know,
it might just be a completely different way to live life to where that might be like the whole thing. Like have you ever heard the theories that aliens could be humans from the future?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I think that could be possible, but there's also like Elon Musk. What's his thing called? That he's Neuralink.
Yeah.
And he always says like this thing. He's like, we have everything. We just have a bandwidth issue. We have all the information you could ever need, but we have no bandwidth. We're like getting a slow drip of it. So like when we have Neuralink, we're having access to every kind of information, everything. Like you're gonna be able to pull up every single fact. You're gonna know every single language, everything like that. I think when we start being able to understand everybody else's thoughts, it's gonna be chaos for a little while.
I don't like it. I want the drip, and here's why. I think misinformation is fun, and not necessarily misinformation. Being subjective and arbitrary is fun.
Yeah.
What I don't like about this like idea of like some shared like nebulous network is just like you're unifying what is like fact to everybody, and it's like let stuff like live in myth. Let stuff live in like there was a time where we could just say like Marilyn Manson removed his ribs to suck his own dick.
I thought that was true up until like a week ago.
Yeah, right? That's the beauty of it. Let that exist. Let like things like that just live, and based on where you are geographically, maybe you've heard this one. You know? I don't like the idea of us having like access to just like hard truth. In fact, it's also not funny.
Yeah.
You know, like from the perspective of like a comedy, imagine being in a room, imagine trying to tell a joke to 300 people that are all Neuralinked, and what you're trying to do is like misquote a news story because it fits your joke. So you're saying, yeah, and then and the pilot on the plane came out and said, and then somebody, you know, like, no, he didn't. Yeah. Pilots aren't able to actually unlock the car, you know, the cockpit door based on the regulations passed after 9/11. Like, it's just like, all right, man, let me lie to you. So I feel like lying and storytelling is important.
They wouldn't even be able to relate to you. Like it'd be almost like a toddler trying to tell you a story. And they're like, and then there was like a dragon. And it's like so elementary that you're just like, you're not even into it. You're like, this is so dumb.
Fuck, that's true. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to have to get a Neuralink to not feel like a little bumbling kid.
It might not even be. That's the thing is when that happens, we might, like you said, cease being humans. Like we're like 30% human. And then we're something else that just, what would be even, like being an alien sounds boring as fuck. Yeah. At least the way we look at them now, where they're just like, are they just watching us because they got nothing else to do? They're like, we don't have sex anymore. We don't have jealousy. We don't have emotions. We don't have desires. Boring. We're just collecting data. Oh, the greater good. Like they have one weird culty thing that was like the greater good of the galaxy and our existence.
I'm with you. You know, that's my problem with the theory about the grays, as they call them, the aliens with the big eyes and the big head and the thin bodies. And the reason that they're gray is because race doesn't exist anymore, because we've intermixed so much because of equality, and that's a good thing, and inclusion and all that. No, but like in the theory. And then also they have skinny bodies because it's like we've gotten to a place where it's like we're probably inhabiting outer space or whatever, and we don't need muscle anymore, but then large brains because of just the massive amounts of information we have.
Boring as fuck.
So boring, and like what a bitch.
Right?
You know? And then it's like we're just evolved from monkeys where it's still fun. We still have a lot of monkey in us, and that's fun. We got a lot of ape in us. I don't want to see us move closer. If what we're looking at on the spectrum is like a big, dumb, stinking ape and a gray alien, I'd rather be in
King
the proximity
Kong,
we are.
Sign me up, baby.
I'm King Kong and this motherfucker. Come on. I don't want to be a gray.
Yeah, now if it was like I like Predator versus Alien, like those kind of aliens are dope. So then like you get into the territory of like the aliens that are visiting us, are they just the evolved aliens? Do you think there's other things out there that are variations that are like they didn't evolve in the sense of that craziness of like, you know, the IQ intelligence, but they went fucking extreme like Predator, where they are almost like an enlightened, like the fucking Predator
survivalist thing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you if
they hunt for sport.
You'll like this question. It's on theme for you. If you met a predator
and he asked me to suck his dick,
would you suck his dick?
Dude, if a predator, I'd be like, well, I need the story. You know, what's that thing look like? It just like a little thing on the end.
Yeah.
I'd try. I don't want to be rude. If I'm the first person coming in, well, yeah.
He'd be
if I'm the first person like in contact with him and I have to represent Earth,
you'd suck.
And he requests it, I don't want to be rude.
You don't want to be rude.
That's
But then you look up and you see that gross face. Remember what his face looks like when he takes the mask off? Hideous.
Looking down at me. That's when you close your eyes.
I had a friend whose dog looked like that.
Really?
Yeah, bad dog.
Probably should put that thing down.
I told her every day.
Man. See, because in that moment, what if it turns into like you're a representation of Earth? This person might just like Earth is done if you're not polite to this person. And what if that's just normal in their society?
Right now, we don't have, if aliens were to show up right now, we don't have, we should decide that's a separate thing to vote on, because it's like who you vote for president is not necessarily who you want to greet. I'm assuming they come to America.
Trump. Just grabbing them, pulling them in.
Biden?
Yeah.
They'd be like, I see we already have a gray here. You know? Like
something's wrong with this gray.
We need a separate person who would meet them that we should vote on. It's a separate position that you probably hold for life. I don't think we need to change it out every 4 years. Like the Men in Black? Yeah, something like that. Like, who would we want to meet aliens when they come down?
I mean, we probably have that in some vein, like with the CIA or the FBI, where they have to have something of that.
I want it to be Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They can't.
How are you?
Yeah.
Welcome, you guys. Your body's so small. You guys are not coming up there. You know. You
know what? I feel like you almost have the accent, but you're afraid to commit. I feel like you almost have it, but you're not leaning in enough to really nail it.
Get to the chopper. Nah, you guys are crazy.
Say something that you would say though, like, oh, are you close yet?
Are you gonna do comedy? Nah, what are you waiting for? Do it now.
Just Arnold Schwarzenegger sucking off Predator.
Now imagine if it was Barack Obama who had to do it. He was like, I normally don't do this, but you're a guest here.
Even the aliens are like,
on Earth.
They let y'all become president?
And then Biden's like, well, yeah, who's president? God damn it, I don't know.
We were actually sitting back watching. We're like, okay, as soon as they have a black president, that's when we'll introduce ourselves. And we're like, damn, dude, how long are we going to have to wait? They did it?
Oh, man. I couldn't see Biden talking to aliens for the first time.
I've showed so many people that video that he made of the
it's scary.
But that's such a good video. How does that video not have 1 million views?
I don't know,
it's so good. It's like it hits the it's shadow banned. They love Biden.
It is weird that censorship and everything on social media. Mm-hmm. You go into certain videos, like you and I are filming skits today, and we're just like that's in my mind. Is I'm like, because I want it to be funny, but it does, and I want to do what we want to do, but it's like it might be for nothing if we can't teeter this line.
YouTube won't fuck with you like that.
Yeah,
you can put some gnarly stuff on YouTube. What is there anything in the video that we shot specifically where you're like, that could be a problem? Like, what would the algorithm know? The algorithm doesn't know what I'm doing.
The reporting is when people see something and they just, it's when you get reported. I've been shadow banned. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that so like declaring it. Yeah. I don't know if I was, but I went after vegans a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I doing a ton of vegan material and it bombed. And then I started like posting jokes as the stories, like with clips and stuff. And like all my stories started getting reported for bullying. And it was at a time where I had a decent following and posts would get like 500 likes or something. After I got reported for bullying, my post dropped down to like 50 to 100. And I was like, wow,
interesting.
Something really happened. My views went down like completely for like over a year and a half. Like I probably didn't have any traction with like posting stuff. Like it was a huge difference. And so what happens is if people report it for a certain reason, then you can go in like Instagram jail.
Gotcha. But you can't see, there's no analytics for like seeing if something was reported?
Well, unless your posts are removed and then Instagram notifies you that this was reported for bullying.
Well, only if they remove it, but I couldn't go and see like, has this been reported?
Yeah, you can't know if it was reported, but the algorithm, if you use certain hashtags or I think even like if you want to break down the algorithm, that if you even have in your bio what you do, if you're a comedian, you know, and I mean, some of my stuff is like gone viral and like got a lot of views, and I have it as comedian. But I feel like if I was a company and all I cared about was making money, and I knew that this was problematic and this, you know, like if I'm in that room and I'm the one deciding as a business, you're going to automatically suppress a certain area if you know that on is ones and zeros is bad for you, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I'm not working with social media and like one of these heads, because I'd be like, no, freedom of speech. If it's funny, fucking post it and just do it. And they're like, no, we're a business. We have, you know, people who are investing in this that need to get paid out. We're looking at this for 10 to 15 years down the road. We don't care about your freedom of creating content.
Here's what's interesting is you know, there's like that, there's a saying, there's like people in the capital markets who are saying like, if you go woke, you're going to go broke. Yeah. And listen, it's not that like, edgy material is like anything else where it can be really bad. There's stuff like when like a racist or sexist or like mean joke bombs, it's the worst type of bomb. And I don't just mean in stand-up, but like whether it's in film or anything else, it's like, it's noticeable. We all know how bad that was. But obviously being mean is funny. We know that's not even debatable. That punching down is funny, being mean is funny, saying the wrong thing is funny, and everybody does it too. So people are saying that if they don't like a certain piece of content, it's like you're also doing a version of that. You just didn't like that example, but like you're also doing it. It's just funny. It's funny. It's all love. It's very funny though. But then you have so let's say you have like Netflix, who is putting out a lot of content that is meant to appeal to certain people based on identity, and it's like those shows are flopping. A good example would be like these like all-female casts for things like Ghostbusters, right? It's like an all-female cast can fucking rip. Like Bridesmaids slammed. It wasn't an all-female cast, but like Amy Schumer did Trainwreck. Like it fucking bodied the box office. The thing is, these movies are bad, and even women aren't going to support it. Right. And it's just like you can put your money there all you want, but it's like you're gonna take a bath. People aren't watching these things. So it's like when you put out some like coming of age tale about you know, a trans chick on Netflix, that's fine, but you also have to make it really good. It's not enough to just put out the thing. People aren't gonna rally to it, because even if your ideology is one thing, you're gonna vote like everybody else, which is like, is this good? Is this funny? And if it's not, you're not gonna support it just based on principle. And so it's like, if you have stuff that actually is funny and it happens to be mean, let it ride.
And you know what's funny though is that I agree 100%. When those things come out, like when they make those shows that are just purely woke and it's just on a principle, a huge group of people will applaud it and be like, oh, they never watch that shit.
That's what I mean. Like, they're not watching. It's bad.
And it's just like, and it's such a small I think they just fucked up with, they appeased people early on and it snowballed. They realized that they had power. There was like the crazy statistic that like 2% of Twitter makes like 90% of the content. And that just means there's people just fucking hiding away like fucking Schmeagol. Just anything that upsets them because they're miserable. I don't even know if half of them are even miserable. They just might be trolling, or like that's a crazy thing, like troll farms and everything that happens. But it's like they appeased that small group of people and ruined it for everybody else. And I think now they're getting to a point where they're like, oh, we fucked up. And we need to start giving the people what they actually want, because they don't want any of this.
I agree. And I think that I'm hoping that becomes acknowledged. Right. But yeah, it's interesting. The people that I always wonder what the what the feeling is, because I've just never cared enough. I've never wanted to get anyone in trouble. I don't have that instinct, but I feel like it must feel very good. And it probably feels like you're doing something, like if you're canceling something, you're saying like, fuck Louis C.K. and like emailing a comedy club to say like, don't let him perform here. That's got to feel pretty good if that's what you believe in, because it's a way for you.
If you really believe it.
If you really believe in that.
That's true.
Because it's a way for you to do absolutely nothing and feel so righteous and dignified, which is like, Feeling righteous is great. If you saw somebody about to hit their wife and you went and grabbed his like wrist and stopped him from doing that, you'd have adrenaline and just be like floating on sun rays the whole drive home. That you're this hero. I think they get
as long as you say a dope line with that.
You go, can I suck your cock? You seem stressed out, sir.
Yeah. I got this one. I got it from here, girl. You get out of here.
Why don't you get out of here? Looks like someone just needs to finish this big hoss off. Yeah, something cool like that.
Yeah, just something real casual. That's what's crazy. And there is a lot of people that are that delusional that they really think. What do you think creates that person that wants to cancel people for jokes? Like, is it?
Man, yeah. Like, how did it start?
This is a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
Where people lack the life experience. I think it happened with academia, where you got a revolving thing where people went through an entire life and they became professors and they never had any life experience.
Yes.
And then they start creating this next crop where it's like, a lot of people, if they don't have life experience or actually went through hard shit, I feel like what their hard shit and what their oppression is and what their struggle is stuff that isn't that hard to regular people, but they're so hurt by it. Like it's so much. Like when you start thinking about safe spaces,
right?
And like some of that stuff, like there really is a need for safe spaces, but not what's happening with safe spaces now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too much where like, I'm sure you've seen some of the videos where there's like college kids and they're like, you can't look me in the eyes or don't clap because it's a microaggression.
Like, what is a safe space? I mean, I know like, but what is it? Because you said like we should have them. Like, what is it?
A safe space. I think comedy should be a safe space where it's like, you have to understand these are jokes and you can't get offended at someone making a joke here. We got to have a safe space to be able to express these feelings. I think anybody should.
I would check yourself on that though. I think
before I wreck myself.
Are we really telling people that they can't get offended? Because I don't think that's ever.
They can get offended.
You have every.
But they don't go. Just like people don't watch the Netflix shit when it's woke. Vote with your attention.
Or if you do go, see here, I actually think that I used to have like a more aggressive like mentality toward it, but I'm like, for the most part, the people who get offended, like I've had tables where like they're disgusted with what I'm saying, but it's never what we want. We're just talking about this. Like I want them to like what I'm saying. I'm trying to make this funny, and it's not connecting. And there's a group of 4 girls just like glaring at me. Yeah. But then it's like at the end of it, like they're not wrong, I'm not wrong. So long as they don't come up and like throw drinks in my face, like they have every right to just sit there and like stare at me. That's 100%
true.
They're not asking the club not to have me back. Yeah. They're not saying anything to me. I've had tables get up and leave in the middle of my set because they're not happy with what I'm saying. And it's like, even that, it's like, yeah, it's a bit disruptive, but it's also like, that's a pretty harmless way to protest what you don't
I agree
like
with that 100%.
Joke.
Oh, I don't think they should be forced to have to sit through this and be like, this is my art form and you have to listen.
Dude, I'll get up and leave in the middle of a good show. I was at the Comedy Cellar watching a show, and the Comedy Cellar is like there's one way in, and then like you're in, and they do check drop at the same time, like at the end of the show. But I was so tired, and it's like everyone else is having a great time, and I was like, hey, I need the checker. I gotta get out of here. I'm so sleepy. This is like recent, and it was a great show. So it's like I get it. I get why people would leave in the middle of a show they don't like.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, shit's wild, man. Shit's wild, but I want to trade it for the world. You know?
Dude, we're in the best time. The Grays are coming soon. Yeah. We have one as president. We're gonna be fine.
Isn't it crazy? I hate always bringing up Biden, but I do almost every episode.
Do you? This is a big Biden podcast.
A big Biden podcast over here. The Biden. Biden, where you going like that?
I'm a big Hunter Biden guy. When you say Biden, I think Hunter.
Dude, that's like, what a joke, America. Like the shit that happens, and we're just like, no, we're not going to talk about that at all. Yeah. Like, have you seen the Hunter Biden music? This dude, no one vlogs like Hunter Biden. The dude records everything.
This is the best thing about it. Yes, because the argument isn't even like, people are like, well, like crack's really addictive. Dude, if I was Joe Biden, I'd be furious, because Hunter's were being like, Dad, I'm sorry, I can't get off the crack. And he's like, you don't have to, son, just stop recording you smoking it. and then losing your laptop on a bus. Stop doing that.
Was it on a bus?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he's like a kid. He's just always like leaving his backpack places.
He brought it into a Geek Squad to have it repaired. Hunter Biden walked in and he was like, yo, I need what's on here. And that's how they like the whole Hunter laptop thing happened.
New York Post thing.
Because someone like was like fixing it. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What is on here? Yeah. There's some very dark things that have come out with him. And I'm just like, this is crazy. But the whole crazy thing with Joe Biden is like, how do you get that far? How are you like, is he still?
That's a good question.
If it was my grandpa, I'd be like, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. I'm feeding you applesauce. We're going to watch the sunrise. And that's how you're going to live your life, you know? And he's just like, oh, I got to run the field roll. Nah, never mind, man.
Dude, it's one of those things where you have to, because even like, I mean, Democrats, at least like most that I know who voted for him they're not happy.
I voted for him.
Yeah.
No, I did.
I was going to say, that makes it even funnier than the things you posted. Did you vote?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't vote. I've never done it.
Jocko Willink, baby. I wrote it in.
Jocko?
Yeah, fuck yeah. You got to vote with your heart,
Let's
brother.
go, dude. Extreme discipline, extreme ownership. Actually, but like really, he embodies stuff that presidents don't eat. Like he's like making like jujitsu gis and jeans in the U.S. and he's like, why aren't we making semiconductors here? Like he's
everything you want on
spirit,
paper.
Dude.
Yeah,
yes.
He's a patriot, a veteran, and upstanding human.
I would vote for him.
Oh,
How funny is that? I would vote for him. And,
dude.
And the dude knows nothing about running a country.
That's true.
Suddenly I would understand. Like, remember the Obama argument when all the like Republicans were like, he doesn't know anything about running a country. And they're like, so?
Yeah.
I think Jocko would be like, all of a sudden, people on the left would be like, he doesn't know anything about running a country. And Republicans would be like, so?
Yeah.
He's cool.
That was the whole thing with Trump is we're like, he knows how to run businesses. And he's entertaining as fuck, you know? But I don't even know if we should have a president. I don't know.
It's a wild thought, huh?
Because it gives a scapegoat that everybody just points at this one person, but it's so fractured into what actually does what and like the way our political like system is set up.
Yeah.
It almost needs like a super team. Like we need, like I really thought when Trump got elected, my mind was blown. I was like, I can't believe this really fucking happened.
Wild.
I was like, I can't. I remember my buddy and I were like watching like the actual thing. And I was like, this is real. This is really happening right now. Like Trump, you fired, just became president.
Yeah.
He's running it now.
It's like we're in a simulation.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But there was a thought and I was like, dude, if he really is a successful businessman, he knows how to delegate. Maybe he really would get Elon Musk in here. Maybe he would get Bill Gates. I don't know. Bill Gates has a lot of conspiracy stuff with him now. He gets fucking David Goggins to run like.
I like how even us, like the only guys we can think of to fill his cabinet are just other memes. We're like, dude, maybe listen,
pop culture.
Maybe he gets Elon Musk. Maybe he gets Bad Luck Brian.
He gets the Barstool guys.
Greg.
Yeah, man.
Gets Good Guy Greg in there.
He gets the
Homer
Rock.
Simpson backing into a bush.
Dude,
we get a few
the Family Guy writers. I thought maybe he'll delegate, but he was like, wrong. He was just like, I'm just gonna do all this shit, and I'm gonna eat fucking McDonald's every day, and just
he was, dude. I don't know. And it's funny that I think Biden. I think that they knew that whoever they put up against him next was gonna get such a big voter turnout from the left that he was gonna make it in. I think Biden was just next in line, and he had the attachment to Obama, which was such a popular presidency, at least for the left.
And he caught such a meme burst on pop culture. Do you remember when there's all those like Cool Joe things going on where he'd wear his fucking aviators and they would like put like so many memes with Joe?
It was such propaganda though, because then you would watch a video of him actually like having a conversation and he's like yelling at factory workers who are mad that he's like closing down jobs. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Get real.
Get real, man. Come on.
This guy's like, why is unemployment 20% here? Get real, man. Fuck.
Dude,
where's Hunter?
If it was good.
What, Dad?
Oh, man. I think we did over an hour, man. This has been a great, holy shit. It's 3:30 in the morning, bro.
Fuck. I thought it might be.
Thank you for doing the podcast, man.
Yeah, dude, of course.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. Spencer Cavins.
My man.
Is it Cavins?
Yeah. Evan
Lopez.
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 What's your middle name?
Reed.
Reed?
Yeah. What's yours?
Tomas.
Evan Tomas.
Evan Tomas. Where can people find you on social media?
At Spencer Cavins.
Mm-hmm.
That's SPENCER. CAV as in Victor. INS.
Was this your real last name?
I forgot what letter I'd said last.
And you run a weekly show in Georgetown.
I do at Georgetown Barrels and Amps every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
It's a great
That's
show.
a very fun show. You've done it. Well, I'll be back soon. And then you can also find me on YouTube under The Sauce Lords.
Ooh, oh yeah, plug your podcast.
Yeah, The Sauce Lords. Very funny. If you like the part about me saying that Evan gets his mouth cummed in, love. If you didn't like that, don't check it out. You won't like it.
And who's your co-host?
Gina Hyena.
Okay.
Italian whore.
Oh shit. Is that all right? Is she in New York or is she out here?
She's in New York, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you go there to do the podcast?
Well, she does so many shows here. Yeah, so if
Okay.
I'm in New York doing shows, we just bank a bunch of episodes.
Dope.
And then when she's here, we bank a bunch of episodes. So it'll catch up with us. We're going to run out in like September and hit like a lull where like we'll just put out clips each week.
Awesome.
Because traveling.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out Spencer's stuff. Thank you for listening to this episode. And remember, no matter what,
get your mouth creamed in.
it's the choice to go with. All right, I love you guys. Give them a kiss. Yeah, there you go. All right.